Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the YGOPro profile for the SuperHeavy Samurai OTK. I'm just going to go through the cards real quick, name them off, and then I'll explain their role in the deck. So we got 3 SuperHeavy Samurai Thief, 3 SuperHeavy Samurai Big Benkei, 3 Big Warigi, I don't know, 3 Giant Rat, 3 Soul Piercer, 3 Soul Shield Wall, 3 Flutist, 1 Card D, 3 Max C, 3 SuperHeavy Samurai SoulBuster Gauntlet, 3 SoulHorns, 3 Swift Scarecrow, 3 Battle Fader, and 3 Effect Veiler. The extra deck, got 1 Googly Eyes Drum Dragon, Heliopolis, 23 Lancelot, Ghost World of the Underworld guy, Tyrus, number 61 Volcasaurus, Dark Rebellion Ixie Dragon, Ragna Zero, Silent Honor Arc, Heartland Draco, Castell, Gaga Cowboy, Wind Up Zenmains, Doolahand, Utopia Roots, and Slacker Magician. I'll get to the side deck in a moment. So, with this deck, you want to OTK, you want to do as much damage as possible, as fast as possible. So, your big beater is Big Benkei. When he's normal or special summon, you can change his battle position. He can attack. He and all SuperHeavy Samurais can attack in defense position while he's out, and they apply their defense for damage calculation instead of their attack. So you've already got 3,500. Then we've got this Soul Shield Wall. You can equip this to a SuperHeavy Samurai, and it gives them 1,200 defense. So adding 1 onto there will make him up to 47. And then SoulBuster Gauntlet. When a SuperHeavy Samurai monster attacks a opponent's monster, and you have no spell traps in your graveyard, send this from your hand to the graveyard, and you double your defense. So that's going to get him up to like 8,000, beyond 8,000 if you have Soul Shield Wall. Alternatively, we also have SoulHorns. You can equip this to a SuperHeavy Samurai, and can attack twice. So it's Benkei plus either Double Horns or Buster Gauntlet plus Soul Wall. That's your combo. Everything else here is either to get him out, to stall, or to just add some support. We've got Nusu. He's, if you have no spell traps in your graveyard, special summon it from your hand. You could tribute him to destroy one of your opponent's spell traps, or one of their pendulum zones, one card in their pendulum zone, and then set it in your spell trap zone or pendulum zone. So he's like your MST for this deck. Because a lot of their effects, SoulBuster Gauntlet, him, and Wargi, you can't use those effects if you have spell traps in your graveyard, so we just don't run any spell traps. So he's what you use to destroy their spell traps. Not only that, but you get to add them, you get to play them on your side of the field if they happen to be good. And because they're your opponent's spell traps, they'll be sent to their graveyard, so there's no negative repercussions for using this. You can also, So then we've also got Big Warigi. I'm going to say Warigi because that's what it looks like up here. But it kind of looks like it's spelled Warigi, like Luigi, but with a W. But anyway, this guy, if you have no spell traps in your graveyard, special summon it from your hand. You could use this as 2 tributes for a machine-type monster, which all the SuperHeavy Samurais are machines. So that's how you can get There's 3 ways to get Benkei out. You either get Warigi with Benkei in your hand and tribute summon. The second is Giant Rat. When this card's destroyed by battle, you can special summon an Earth monster with 1,500 or less attack from your deck in attack position. He has 1,000 attack, so you can get him, and when he's summoned in attack position, he can just immediately go to defense position. So you can either just set this and hope they run over it, or if they already have a monster and you're going second, you can ram Giant Rat and then summon Benkei. The third is Flutist. You can tribute this card to special summon a SuperHeavy Samurai from your hand. So if you have Flutist and Benkei, normal summon Flutist, tribute, get Benkei. He has an additional effect while he's in the graveyard. If your opponent tries to target a SuperHeavy Samurai with an effect, you can banish him to negate and destroy. So that's how you stop your Benkei from getting like Castelled or something, or compulsed. He's probably the best way to summon him. We've also got Soul Piercer. This has 2 effects. 1, you can equip it to Benkei to make him do piercing damage. And 2, if this is sent from the field to the graveyard, you could search out a SuperHeavy Samurai. So you can, again, I've not in the Wada deck, but I've rammed this into things to get the SoulBuster Gauntlet, or to get the Flute or Big Benkei. You can equip it to him if they are playing like Marshmallow or Aroma Jar to just do piercing damage. This has all sorts of utility. And it doesn't matter if it's sent to the graveyard as a equip spell or as a monster, you're still going to get the effect. And then everything else in here is just draw power and stalling. We've got Card D and Max C, which are the 2 draw power monsters. I found Card D because you need your normal summon to get out Benkei, and because you can't like set spell traps and stuff like that, you often end up having to discard stuff. So I didn't run as many of him, I just had 1 extra card slot, so I put that in there. Max C is much better. The times that I win against like Perform a Pal, Perform Age, and stuff like that is when I Max C first turn, and they just take the challenge. Because if you can get enough cards in your hand, you can really do a crap ton of damage, and they cannot stop you. And then we got Swift Scarecrow and Battle Fader when you don't have a monster, because oftentimes you can't summon this, or you won't have him. So that's how you stop yourself from being OTK'd. And then Effect Veiler, just for your effect negation. The extra deck is mostly for show. I rarely go into it. You've got some rank 8s, because you can get 2 Benkais out if you already have one, and then like a giant rat. Occasionally useful. This guy can attack directly. Heliopolis can blow cards up. And Googly Eyes Drum Dragon can get up to 4,000 attack, which is sometimes more than a Benkei if you don't have any equips to him. The level 5s, we've run 2 of them. That's because you can special summon Warigi if you control no spell traps. You can't special summon any monsters except for SuperHeavy Samurai the turn you use this, but there have been cases where I needed a defense and I just special summoned 2 of these and like set a giant rat, and they only destroyed the giant rat, and the next turn you can Ixie summon. It doesn't come up very much, but you can do it. The level 4s, basically for getting 2 Soul Piercers out on the field. I don't know why I have so many 4s that never ever came up, but I like to have the toolbox there. Probably would have been better to add some Synchros in here, because you do play Effect Veiler. We've got the 1 level 3, the Zen Mains, in case you just happen to get 2 of these and you need defense. And then the level 1s, these are the only ones that I actually make, mostly because SoulHorns has an additional effect. If he's equipped to a monster, you can unequip him and special summon him. He's kind of like one of these old Union monsters. So in an emergency, if you like a Battle Fader, you can play one of your level 1s, either SoulHorns or SoulBuster Gauntlet, or you can normal summon SoulBuster, equip SoulHorns, and then unequip it to have 2 level 1s, and then just stall with Slacker, or have their attack and then attack with Benkei. There's a couple different options there. As for the side deck, the only things I would consider for the actual side deck would be Gigantes, because if they play a lot of spell traps, he can be really good against that. When he's destroyed, you can destroy all spell traps on the field, which won't affect you at all, really. And he's summoned by removing an Earth monster from play, and you have mostly Earth monster. All the SuperHeavy Samurais are Earth, Giant Rat is Earth, Max C is Earth. The only thing that's not Earth is Battle Fader and Effect Veiler. So maybe swap one of those out for Gigantes. We've also got Galaxy Cyclone and Breakthrough Skill if you need extra spell trap removal or extra effect negation. These are good options, mostly because you can banish them from your graveyard to use additional effects. So you could still get your effect. You could still use like Thief because you can banish your Cyclone from the grave. Everything else is just other options. My original build used the 2 Pendulum monsters. They're another good way to get out Benkei, and they have additional effects by themselves. This one in particular, this one. While he's in your Pendulum Zone, you can make a SuperHeavy Samurai monster you control can destroy a monster by battle, can attack again in a row, so that's more OTK potential. And this guy, you can tribute him by tributing 1 SuperHeavy Samurai, and he can attack while in defense position too. 28's not as high as the 35, obviously, but it's still a good idea, especially if you can get out like Warigi or some of these other ones. Machina Fortress, because you're playing a lot of machines, he's good to get out, and obviously if you play more of him, then you can make rank 7s like Big Eye. Ice and Fire Hands, this is more monster and spell trap destruction. A lot of people know how to get around these guys these days, so I don't really like playing them. But they're another option for like the all-monster version of the deck. Neospatian Grand Mole, he's another Earth monster. He can be useful in certain situations. I had him instead of Card Car, but never really got all that good. Spell Striker, if you want to play more spells, he's a good option because you can special summon him by banishing a spell from your graveyard, and he can attack directly for 600. And you take no battle damage from him. So he can sometimes add that extra, like a Gaga Cowboy, do that extra 600, and he can keep spells out of your graveyard if you want to play some spells in this deck. Blowtorch is interesting. He can't be destroyed by battle, so you can keep him on the field. He can stall pretty well, and you can discard him when your opponent declares an attack and make them attack whatever Super Heavy Samurai you want. So you can switch the target to Benkei if you're playing multiple Super Heavies. Because I only ever had Benkei out, I never really used the effect, which is why he ended up in the side deck. Painful Escape. I don't know why he's in here. Never mind that. And then finally, Black Garden and Terraforming for Black Garden. Black Garden's really interesting because just its effect, like when a monster is summoned, have its attack special summon a Rose token to its controller's opponent's side of the field. So having the attack doesn't really hurt Benkei, and then you give them an 800 attack point monster that you can ram over with a Buster Gauntlet or attack twice if you have the Pendulum out. So there's a lot of options. Just in general, though, it wasn't very consistent. And of course, once they like Twin Twister it or whatever, I tried a spell build originally, and I kept getting Twin Twistered so much. And then once they do that, then half of your cards become useless. So. But that's the Super Heavy Samurai OTK build. It works all right. It's more casual than some of my other decks. Next week I'll be back with something a little more competitive. Until then, good luck, have fun.